Today I want to show you how to use your curling rod to get a really nice beach wave. This is probably one of the most asked about hairstyles. Everyone wants to know how they can get that kind of natural, like spend all day at the beach, sea salty beach hair. And this is not the only way to do it. This is a really good way. And if you do it right, it'll last for like 2 or 3 days, transitions well into other hairstyles, and it's just a really pretty look. So I'm excited to show you how to do it. So get your curling iron, get your brushes, let's get to it. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is take our paddle brush and just thoroughly brush through your hair. You just want to make sure there's no tangles because we are going to be curling every single part of your head. And then I take this is actually the bombshell blowout from Amika. I'm going to spray it all over my hair today even though it's not wet because it has a little bit of a heat protectant in it, and it's also good for volume and texture, and it makes my hair smell amazingly good. Then just brush through again just to make sure that it's evenly coating the entire head of hair. And then we are going to section off our hair. So take a very small bottom layer and then put the rest of it on top of the head. Just like what we've done in the blowout video and the other different curling videos. So for this style, we are going to use a hairspray and spray that on each individual strand before we curl it. I'm using the Amika Touchable hairspray, which I love because it's going to allow me to kind of mess it up later. If you use a thicker hairspray, you are going to have a lot of problems. So make sure you're using a touchable hairspray. And then for the curling rod, I'm using the V-shaped one. So that means that it starts out larger and then gets more narrow. This is just going to help me give like a very kind of carefree wave. This look can also be done with a curling iron if you want to just wrap it around, or just like a regular 1-inch curling rod. But I particularly love the V-shape. It's one of the 4 that comes with the 4P curler, and so I'm going to use that on this particular style. Okay, so what we do is we take each strand, give it a nice light coating of hairspray, and then we are going to take the curling rod, put it up right at the root of the hair, right at the base, wrap it around 1 or 2 times, barely overlapping, but still very tight. And then as we go down the wand with the rest of the hair, we leave some space. So this helps us give us like a really nice full volume at the root, and then helps us create that really pretty wave as we go down the strand. Okay, so again, you just take the hair, give it a little light coating of hairspray, put the curling rod up at the root, at the base of your hair, and wrap, wrap, wrap. You see how there's no room at the top, and then I've left some space in between. So I wrap it around twice, and then I add some space as I wrap the rest of the hair down. In our first video where we did like a big curl, all of the hair was supposed to be kept very flat against the curling rod, but in this style it doesn't really need to be. So you're just going to keep the top 2 wrapped nice and tightly, and then the rest of it just bring it around, leave some space in between, and that's all you really need to keep in mind. And then just go ahead and do that exact same thing all around your entire head. This one's so easy because we don't change any part of it. We just do the exact same step all over your entire head. So just after you finish that bottom layer, take out, probably go up 1.5 inches into your up towards your hair, and just kind of pull down the next layer, put the rest of it back up, and repeat the exact same step. Take the hair, lightly spray it with hairspray, take your curling rod, hold it upside down, put it at the base of your head, wrap it twice flat, and then wrap the rest of it just with a lot of space in between to get that really big, pretty, beachy wave. Okay, for the sake of time, I'm going to cut out a couple of layers just because it's the exact same step the entire time. You don't necessarily need to watch me boringly do every single piece of my hair, but just remember it's the exact same step, and after you finish a layer, you just go ahead and bring down another small layer. If you want really big beach waves, like you know, and if you have a lot of hair, you're going to want to do a lot of layers. I did about 5 total, but go ahead and kind of alter. Maybe if you're running short on time, just do 3. If you have lots of time and you want big hair, maybe do 6 or 7. But remember, just if you do more layers, your hair is going to be bigger. You're going to have more volume. Obviously, if you have longer hair than I do, which my hair is pretty much the definition of medium length hair, it's pretty unavoidable for you to not overlap the hair, otherwise you won't be able to curl the entire strand. So a really good solution for that, since we're not looking to have tight waves, is to immediately pull down on the curl after you release it. Since it's still hot, it's going to be able to be a little bit moldable. So when you are done curling, just kind of take it off the rod and tug down a little bit. Okay, so we are about at this top layer, and when I do these top layers, I kind of pull it down and then section this off into 2 different layers. Just because, you know me, I like the top layers to be really big and voluminous and exactly like I want. So I kind of spend some extra time here. Okay, so the thing that's different about this hairstyle versus our other curling styles is that we're going to take the curling rod all the way to the root of the hair, as opposed to before where we would start kind of in the middle of the strand. So here we're taking that curling rod all the way to the very top of our hair, so we can get a really nice full natural curl the entire way down. And then just repeat the exact same thing on the rest of the layer. Just remembering to go all the way to the very top of the strand so that we get curls all the way to the very top of the hair. Okay, so now that your entire head is done, you look a little bit like Shirley Temple. It's a little alarming, but now is the fun part where you just mess it up. And here is when it was important to use a touchable hairspray like the Amika, because you're gonna be able to run your fingers through it. If you used way too much hairspray or you use an extra firm holding hairspray, you are in bad shape because you probably have to pull out all of your hair. Unless you just want to stay looking like Shirley Temple, which is totally up to you. But since that's not what I'm going for, I'm going to take my fingers and just run it through. I'm kind of pulling out some of that tight curl and working that hairspray into the root, and then I'm also going to spray some dry shampoo just because I'm an addict and I like big hair. And the whole goal of this is to just kind of have this like very undone big look. Okay, so then I take a pomade. I swear by Bumble & Bumble Sumo Tech, but there's a lot of good ones on the market. Just rub it through your fingertips and then just kind of pull it through your hair. This is going to help to separate it out just a little bit. Also to kind of give it a little bit of volume. The pomade's going to create almost like a sticky effect so that your hair kind of stays exactly where you put it. And also again, you're just kind of pulling out those big curls. So if you want to stop here, this is a great place. If you're happy with the result, stop here. But I do have one other trick that I kind of do to just finish off the look. So I'm going to plug in my straightener, and you are going to want to just almost straighten out some of those curls. Just because, like I said, we're going for a big, sexy, undone beach wave. Like, I woke up and spent the entire day in California, and I'm having the best hair day of my life. So you want it to look natural, not like you just spent 30 minutes curling it. So just kind of almost undo what you just did a little bit, but just pick up some random pieces and just straighten them. Like I always do the ones in the front just because I don't like them to be super curled. And you know, if you kept it on there, if you took the straightener and kept it on the strand for 5-10 seconds, you're probably it's too much, because then you are really actually straightening out the curl. But it's a cool thing to do, and it just adds different dimension to your hair. I don't know, it's a fun little trick. So the next thing I do is I take my comb and I just run it straight down through the hair. This just helps to break up any curls that are all stuck together. Add a little bit of volume. This is totally optional, but I find it to be a really helpful thing to do. Then just mess it up, take a little extra pomade, kind of run it through the ends again, add some hairspray if you want. Your hair is pretty full of product, but sometimes you just can never have too much. But just keep going until you're happy with it. If you can see some pieces that need touching up with the curling rod, touch them up with the curling rod. If you want to straighten a couple more pieces, straighten a couple more pieces. This is a really, truly undone look, so keep going until you're happy with it. But this is really fun. It's actually really easy to do because it's the same step all across your entire head. It takes probably about 15-25 minutes depending on how much hair you have, but it's just really not, it's just fun. It's just meant to be a really fun look.